This is your 2021 Hyundai Elantra, first ever hybrid for the Elantra. Did a pretty deep dive into the gasoline version, so we won't spend too much time on the exterior and interior, but let's just go through a few things. So nice clean design up front for the grille. Got those two cool design lines spreading out from the center logo. You'll see more and more of this, the turn signal integrated into the grille. I think it's such a cool look. The new Tucson, which is what I have, I think, next week, has just more of a pronounced look for the integrated turn signal. Halogen doesn't bother me. This is an Irk for me, projector halogen headlights as opposed to LED lights, because you get the really cool LED day runner here, and it splits in two, and it just looks so sharp. I think that's a bit of a miss here for Hyundai. You get some chrome finish down to the bottom, reflective, so you can see my feet moving there. And overall, the front end looks pretty sharp. Not nearly as many angles as you have in the gasoline version of the Elantra. Back to where we started, not that bad of a front quarter look. Let's take a look at the wheels. So they are 16 inches for both trims, and they are the aerodynamic wheels, so it reduces turbulence as you go and make your way by getting almost 1,000 kilometers per tank of gas. There's your air curtain there. Again, just all for aerodynamics. It kind of looks like a black Steely. I know it's not, but with this color, I like it. I don't know how good it would look with other colors. And this is kind of that liquid concrete color. It's the new fad. Almost every manufacturer is offering it. And kind of like what we had a few years ago when orange was the big hot color. All right, there's a side profile. Not too bad. Very close to the Elantra sedan, which is the gasoline version. Not nearly as many creases. You still get that nice A-line right there. And a huge slope for your rear window. Aerodynamics for the win. I like the long hangover at the back, or sorry, overhang. I find it suits this car really nicely. And you have like little Thor's hammer inspired LED tail light. I don't know what I'd call it for Hyundai. The Hyundai hammer? Anyways, halogen turn signals, your reverse lights there, and you get the nice light bar that goes all the way across. Let's take a quick look at the rear. More pronounced angles here than we have on the side. Softened, definitely softened. Kind of a quirk here with a Sonata, you push in here, and that's how you open the trunk. With the Elantra, there's this cool shaped button, and that's how you get in there. 402 liters of cargo space in here. And let's take a look underneath. So you do get a little donut plus your jack kit and a little bit of storage space in there. A little quirk before we wrap up, the A does not have a crossbar here or here, so it's a little interesting move there by Hyundai. Taking a look in the rear seats, rear doors open a fair amount, not quite the 90 degrees, but plenty of room to get in and out. Interesting quirk here, to get these seat backs down, you have to go into the trunk, and by the trunk arms is where the release is, so there's nothing down there, or up here. Interestingly, top trim gets the folding seats as far as a 60-40 split, and top trim also gets ear cup holders, and top trim also gets an armrest. Bit of a peculiar move for me as to why they wouldn't just make it a consistent rear seat with a 60-40 split, but that's just me. So no power sources back here, no air vents, no matter. Like, keep in mind why you're buying the car. If you want something a little more fancy-esque for a sedan, take a look at the Sonata. Anyways, that's that. Let's take a look up front. You get a little black lock, unlock. I can't show it to you now because it's daylight, but there is a little light that shows up in the inside of the handle at night. I would happily flip that out to get LED headlights. Anyway, simple pattern here, nothing too fancy, very, very dark, lots of hard plastic pieces here. This is kind of soft, that's soft, but you can hear that's where the hardness is. Manual seats all around. Don't care. They're very comfortable. They're leather. Cloth on the lower trim. Really, really big side bolsters. Surprisingly good thigh bolsters. No issues there. And that kind of cool pattern on the seat, how it goes left to right there and goes up and down. So really nicely done. Let's jump inside again. Quick refresher. That is cosmetic. Looks kind of cool. Not too bad. Digital screen. I love it. I'm going to start it up. Let's take a look at the opening graphic. Oops, off of the wipers. Anyway, so similarly to, let me close the door. Similarly to the gasoline Elantra, nice big digital dash. Again, this is top trim only, lower trim gets the other one, but you can customize it and get all sorts of different displays. It looks really sharp. I sit here as far as what I want for my center thing. Just shows you the energy flow. So that little engine turns orange, and that's the battery, which is blue, and it corresponds to that. And it just goes either that way, or they come together like that. And it's kind of my go-to screen. Really nice steering wheel. I don't mind it. It's a little peculiar, big space down here and holes and holes and a hole in here, and standard stuff down here. Standard 8-inch screen, not as cool as the one in the gasoline Elantra, where you option it up and it's a full digital screen, which matches that. But the fact that they're offering this on an Elantra is crazy, and that is pretty sweet too. And you get the hard touch buttons on the bookends of that. Wireless charging down here on the top trim, wonderful option. 2 USBs, 12 volt there. You get nice hard touch buttons for your HVAC. I think Hyundai has won the game as far as the most easy to use HVAC system, and you can see it just lights up blue, and it is impossible to make any mistakes here. Standard heated steering wheel, amazing. Standard heated seats for your front passenger, for the driver and front passenger, absolutely wonderful. Bit of a blank space here in the start stop button. I kind of wish it was either tucked down there or maybe on the column itself. It kind of just sticks out a little bit. A nice continuum for the vent lines all the way over there. I like this. I know some of you don't, but I know I like it. I don't keep my hand here at all, kind of both hands on the wheels at all times, but I like it. Standard stuff here, so the drive modes, your camera, a dummy switch here. There is your parking brake and auto hold just in there. Last thing here, tall water bottle. You can see how tall it is. And I love that Hyundai has given me the option to lift this out. And then if I've got a shorter drink, you can now see the floor has been raised up and just how high it is. I keep it down at the bottom because, well, I don't want things getting in the way of my elbow. So that's it. Oh, last thing here, standard sunroof on the top trim. Like, this is just unbelievable. It's like $27,000 and you get all this stuff. It's just absolute massive value here. On the road with the 2021 Hyundai Elantra Hybrid, 2 trims, it's preferred and ultimate. They both get the same engine, and that's a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder engine. Total combined output is 139 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque, all through a 6-speed dual clutch transmission, which is much better to me than the CVT. So if it's between the Elantra gasoline version and the Elantra Hybrid, I'm going Elantra Hybrid. Never mind the nearly 1,000 kilometers per tank. Never mind the ridiculously great price point of $27,000, less $1. We'll get into more of that later on, but let's stick to the driving dynamics itself. 32 kilowatt motor, not too big, but it definitely contributes in helping you get to the nearly 1,000 kilometers per tank of 87 octane gas. Driving dynamics itself, it's low to the ground sedan, so you get a bit of a better connection to the road as opposed to an SUV, and nice big windows, so your sight lines are good, easy to drive, easy to park, fairly nimble. As far as power goes, it's there if you need it, and your revs will just start screaming and whatever. Like, the car is meant to be driven, and yes, I understand that driving a hybrid with less intensity is going to increase your fuel consumption, but if you need to avoid a collision or get on the highway or whatever it is you have that you need where you got to stomp down on the gas pedal for, the Elantra Hybrid will definitely have you well covered and well taken care of. Into the world of fuel consumption, so on a 42-liter gas tank of 87 octane, our liters per 100 kilometers measurement is 4.5 in the city. It is 4.2 on the highway for a blended total of 4.4. It's an impressive number, and now it's right up there with the Toyota Corolla, which just goes head-to-head with, Toyota Corolla Hybrid. Similarly priced once you option up the Corolla, and similar fuel consumption figures. I really like that this, so Hyundai says you can get 955 as far as kilometers per tank. I think you squeeze it out a bit, you do a little bit of hypermiling, you do a little bit of predictive driving, you do some coasting, and I think you could easily eclipse the 1,000 kilometer mark. Over my week, I've gotten 416 kilometers in. I've got another maybe 10, 15 kilometers left in my day here, and I'm at 4.5. So I'm pretty much exactly at the average, so 0.1 over. I've got a good mix of city driving and highway driving. So for me, just another reason I would pick the Elantra Hybrid over the Elantra gasoline version. Let's talk about the massively long list of standard safety features here. So you have lane departure warning, you have lane keep assist, you have lane follow assist, You have the driver attention warning, you have the high beam assist, you got the blind spot monitoring, you have the rear cross traffic alert, and you have the forward collision avoidance. The only thing you don't get is the automatic, or the adaptive cruise control with stop and go. And that is top trim only, but that's a pretty long list of standard safety, all for the price point of the mid $20,000. I believe it's $24,699 for the preferred trim. Standard features across the board include a heated steering wheel, heated front seats, an 8-inch infotainment screen. You have your wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. For the mid $20,000, that is kind of ridiculous, and you have the smart trunk. So it's such a value prop here, and it's just so nice to see that Hyundai is slowly but yet very intentionally changing the game as far as giving so much value for such a little amount of money. The difference between the preferred trim and the ultimate trim are worth $2,300. I think it's absolutely worth it. The differences include the adaptive cruise control with stop and go. You get the folding rear seats, you get leather seats, you get the wireless charging, you get the LED turn signals in the side mirrors. You also get the rear center armrest. $2,300 alone to me is worth the digital dashboard. Plus you get the forward collision avoidance with the junction turning feature. Again, for $2,300, you can't go wrong. And this car is priced so aggressively. I get $26,999 to get terrific mileage, lots of modern amenities, lots of standard features. It's just, Hyundai's done so well here. As we wrap up, just wanted to point out that Hyundai is really pushing hard as far as the hybrid and the PHEV and the electric car game goes. As of right now, there's 8 models and kind of 9. The Ioniq 5 is so close to coming out. But there's the Ioniq triplets to start. There's the Elantra Hybrid. There's a Sonata Hybrid. There's a Santa Fe Hybrid. There is the Tucson Hybrid again, and then with the Ioniq 5, that's going to give us 9 in total. So, and they're all very aggressively priced. So I think Hyundai is really gunning for Toyota, because for as long as I can remember, Toyota's really led the game between the Prius and the Corolla. And the RAV4 as far as their hybrid/electric vehicles go. Anyways, if you got any questions on the 2021 Elantra Hybrid, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to get you answers as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate the support, and feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and feel free to tell somebody about the channel who you think may be interested in what I do. Be well, be healthy, be safe, and I will see you in the next video.